Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a quick sketch of Spider-Man from Earth 1610, or what is also known as, and who is also known as Miles Morales. So we are going to do a generic action sketch here. So some twisty frame coming into mind when it's Spider-Man, of course. So Miles is pretty much a regular Spider-Man when it comes to web slinging and when it comes to his base arachnid powers. But what we are doing is, so we have to have that fit but fairly thin teenager in mind when we are bringing this here. So oval, and we are going to use a shoulder set like right there. We're going to use, so the body is actually like curved, so that is our base to work with, but we will of course have a different composition at the front slightly. So chest area, and right here we'll have arm going like that. There's the fist, and we'll put the other arm like right there, and there's the little triangle or the bell, that'll be the hand. So there's the crunched middle torso right there. There's the lower part of the body, and that's where we're putting in now some serious foreshortening. I'm putting in a knee right there. I'm putting in a knee. You can bring it like farther back, but it's a little too crunched, so we'll just put in a knee, a foot around there, and a foot somewhere around here, depending on how we finish this off. So what we'll do is we're going to put in this set of eyes first. So they're actually the usual Spider-Man eyes, except that his costume theme is red and black. It looks awesome in my opinion, so I'm giving him that webbing, so we can start like that. And then put in some basic shoulders there. So I'm going to bring in the arm inside. I was first thinking of having some like foreshortening coming toward here, but no, I've changed my mind. So we're just going to finish it in a more normal pose. We'll go somewhere around there. As you see that I'm just going along those very lines that I had put in, and use some foreshortening there. So larger knee, smaller thigh, but of course more chunky but smaller. And there is, let's do a circle there, sort of. And we have the other foot right there. Now that other arm, we can, I should remember that I'm trying to get this down. I'm just going to put in and now here is where we have to just put in a little bit of expression, in the sense that we have just 2 fingers, 3 fingers showing there. I think it'll do it. And of course this hand here, so there's the finger, there's the thumb, middle finger, and like that's about it. And of course he is holding his trusty spider web that is ending up perhaps like that. So there's the collarbone. Now his costume comes right from there around the delt, and there's that line that goes in like that. So really cool looking. And there's a thin line here. The rest of the costume is essentially black, but then his fingers are just red, and they have the webbing, just straight webbing. And then here there's some action like going on here, because this web pretty much that comes down, and there's some additional lines running along. So I think that what we'll do is, instead of bringing it down here, we're going to go like this, right around, and then we expand it as if we're stretching the fabric. We just come down like that, and of course those lines are coming right down. So this is one easy way of doing it. Then right around here you could just go a little bit like that. Now this is only with a pencil, but if you're using a pen, you'll have to put the webbing like this in place to start with. Now right here is his spider insignia. So legs, 4 going up and 4 going down, and of course we have the little abdomen, we have the spider head. So that is basic sketch of Miles Morales. I forgot to put in that webbing here. So now all of these lines in the webbing are red, the spider is red, and the rest of the costume, leave alone the fingers, is black. So what we're just going to do is, if there's a light source, like let's say hitting from the side, we are just going to put in some pencils Now I do know that this is a black and red costume, but with the pencil, well, I guess I can take a little liberty and put in the conventional shading around the muscle structure. So I'm putting in a little bit of indentation there around the pecs. I'm going to put in some defined serratus and a bit of the abs. I'm going to put in a little bit of muscular structure there. His legs are not really beefy or anything, but I've just shown it from a certain perspective angle. And of course, while I'm just going about this quick tone and shade, we should, I think most of us noticed that there was Into the Spider-Verse, a movie that was released that showed many versions of Spider-Man, because it's becoming popular. It's becoming an ever popular trend in comics anyways, to explore different versions of characters existing in different worlds. So we also had the regular Spider-Man in it, and which is still by far my most favorite, as much as they might have compromised the character through the ages. He's still one of my favorites, and I'm talking about Peter Parker, Spider-Man. But Miles is a fresh take on the character. Really like him. So what I'm just doing is, so the light source that is essentially hitting from the side and from the top is going to pretty much cast shadows like that around the bends and around the muscle frame. And of course, now if you're using the same pencil to focus on his costume, and then I would recommend that you can just go with light shading first around the areas that are like left over, darker shading here away from the source of light, and then a lighter shading here going in. Leave that red portion out for now, or you could go in between the webbing. You'll have to make each part of the webbing like so. So you have to give it its second dimension, and I'm just going about this very quickly. You could take your time, and then you could go and fill in a little bit of black in and around the webbing if you're using a pencil. But if you're using colors, of course you'll have to perhaps put a light, you'll have to work around the reds and put lighter black in and around it to start, and then maybe make it darker, or you could just work with the contrast and work the red webbing in first and then carefully paint out the rest of him and deck him out in black. So there we have it. Around the muscle tones, on the muscular structure, I've put in some darker tone so that we have our shading going for us, but I've also maintained, and once I smudge you will see that it will work a little better for us, that little black going in his costume. Okay, so there we have it. Quick sketch of Spider-Man Miles Morales. Please do check him out. Please do subscribe. Keep in touch. Have yourself a wonderful day.